Lydia mentioned Eanes ISD, Westlake. You guys ever heard of Westlake? Have you watched the football game this last weekend between Drew Brees and Nick Foles? You probably saw a featurette on our high school. They both went to Westlake High School. I am, and I'll admit this, even though I'm in Dallas, I'm an Eagles fan. Sorry. There we go. Now I feel at home. Someone's booing. See, just like in Philly. So I'm a little sad, but I'm recovering. A little bit about our district, those of you that don't know about it, located right there on the west side of Austin. And again, as Lydia said, we've been one-to-one iPads. It's 8,000 kids, pre-K now, all the way through 12. Starting in 5th grade, they start taking them home. And it's been really eye-opening to see some of the things that those kids have uncovered. Let's just say I don't sleep very much at night when I get emails sometimes like, did you believe what my son did? I was like, oh my goodness. So one of these days when I'm ready to retire, I'll write a book about that too. So a little bit about us. Again, ranked high in terms of academics, but one of the reasons why we decided to start integrating technology was a lot of our students were going on to college. We were very college ready. We had them ready for academics. But then they got to college and they said, what do we do with all this technology, distraction, all of that? We didn't manage any of that prior to this. We just kind of said, good luck, right? And so while we found that our students were very college ready, they weren't very college and life successful. So they were able to get into college but then struggled. And so we thought, how do we adjust this and get them prepared with the tools they need and how to manage those distractions, how to organize themselves digitally. A lot of the universities, in fact, most universities now, mostly everything is online. And we weren't preparing them for that prior to this rollout. It just started to happen. So we said, let's get that ready for those high school kiddos. So this talk is about becoming that future-ready parent. I know there's some kids in the audience as well. You guys can participate too. I'm the type of person that about every 20, 15 minutes, I'm gonna make you all stand up and talk and do something. It's not gonna be just me talking at you. The brain works better that way. In fact, does anyone know how long the average adult can stay seated and still stay focused? Any guesses? It's 1 minute, someone's like, I'm already distracted, Carl, sorry, it's over. No, about 15 to 20 minutes, yeah, about on average. So you'll see, I'll plan some little breaks in there on purpose. By the way, for kids, it's about their average age is about how many minutes. So if you teach kindergarten, you got about that many minutes before you lose them, right? And they're all over the carpet, right? So the first activity is this. What I want you to do is take out your phone. All right, I want you to take out your phone and I want you to find a picture that brings you joy and then stand up and go share it with someone else in the room. You'll have 1 minute to do this. So find an image. I won't make you show it up on the big screen, so don't worry about that. Just find an image that brings you joy, pull out your phone, stand up, go find someone around you, next to you, sitting next to you if you want to, and talk about why it brings you joy. Ready, set, go. Sorry, I'm spying on you there. What is that?
Well, she sent me, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I sent her this one. This is my 2 kids.
Oh, nice.
Look at her face. I mean, her smile. And
they're happy.
They're having an interesting conversation, I think, when I took this picture.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's awesome. Do you have a water for me at some point? I just realized I forgot to get one.
Nobody follow directions. Everybody talk to the neighbor.
Okay. All right, 1 minute up there. Oh wait, we have a song. All right, come on back. Yeah, we hear Nickelback. That's always good. Photograph. All right. So I'm curious. Those of you in the room, and be honest, how many of you shared a picture of your kids? Of your kids? Okay. How many of you shared a picture of your pets? Oh. How many of you shared a picture of your spouse? That's so depressing. It's like 3 hands. It was me. Thank you. Thank you for those of you that shared a picture of your spouse. I need to also share a picture as well, so here we go. These are my 3 kiddos, all with my last name. So pray for them, please. Yes, this is Ima, Ura, and Vegas Hooker. No. However, I do want to show you this picture because these students, these kiddos go to school at Eanes Elementary right down the street from my office. So I get to see them every day. I take them to school every day. We talk to them. These are the years that they'll be graduating from Westlake High School. My youngest one just started, that's Caroline is her real name. She's starting kindergarten this year. She's in kindergarten. 2031 is when she'll be walking out the doors of that high school. Think about everything that could change between now and then. I used to teach first grade, believe it or not. I just tried not to step on the kids. That was like my goal. And in 2002, I think 2003 was the last year I was in the classroom and teaching first grade. Think about how much has changed since 2003. You couldn't have done that activity I just did in 2003, right? You'd have to break out your Polaroids or your little photo albums, right, and look at it that way. Or if you had a digital camera, maybe. So a lot has definitely changed. Another thing that's changed is these guys. I decided, and I'll go ahead and admit this in front of everybody here, I sometimes parent fail. And one thing I did about 3 months ago is I bought one of these for each one of my girls. Anybody have an Alexa or some sort of Google? Okay, yeah, it's an assistant, it's nice. I plugged them in, and then I had to go on a trip, and I forgot to put any restrictions on them. So I land where I'm at, my wife's like, you need to check the record, because you can see everything they've said. And I started seeing things like, Alexa, I want some puppies, and Alexa, give me a pet from the Amazon, meaning Amazon. And I can't make this up. 3 days later, this arrived at my doorstep. Now, with even like thank you notes, it says, Dad, thank you so much for the gift. Thanks for the Alexa Echo Dot, Dad. To be honest, my parents found out what had happened, and so they pranked me with this. It didn't actually send it. But quickly I realized this world has definitely changed. It's not just about the phone anymore. There's lots of different things you can interact with, and we have to think as parents, what are we interacting with? What are our kids interacting with? Now, what's interesting, about a month later, my 4th grade daughter, I sent her up to her room to do her homework. And she came down 5 minutes later. I was like, that was a lot of math homework. How'd you get it done so fast? So I looked at the transcript, and it was, Alexa, what's 24 times 12? Alexa, what's... It's like, you're cheating. And then I started thinking about what my math teacher told me. He's like, you're not going to be walking around with a calculator in your pocket the rest of your life. I'm like, actually, I am. My phone is a calculator. But things have definitely changed quite a bit, right? Oh my goodness. How time... Anybody remember this? Okay. So this was like my first computer, by the way. It's interesting how things have changed. Torture has now changed, right? If you want to torture somebody, you don't pour oil on them, you just turn off the internet, right? Let's turn it off. And it's also interesting, you think about, you guys remember the stories about like the white van? You remember that one? It's always a white van, like don't get in the white van, it's driving around the neighborhood. We used to have this thing, don't ever get in a car with a stranger and watch out for people on the internet, right? Now what do? Now, we contact a stranger from the internet to get in their car, which is just really interesting. Think about how much that has changed, right? Things are a little bit different. This next one's just for my wife, because she does this a lot. She goes, I live for the day when my phone's fully charged so I can unplug it and then roll to the other side of my bed. You know, she's always, I see that glow coming from next door. It's an interesting thing. So it's interesting, looking at my own kids, and a couple of you in the audience I think are around this age. So my oldest daughter, Sophia, was, invented, let's say, in 2008. A little bit more to the deployment, never mind. So this is version 1.0. Invented in 2008, and this device invented in 2007. So that's pretty significant. If any of you have kids that are 12 or younger, I see a few of them in the crowd, they've never known a world really without that device, right? It's just natural. It's part of the way they do things. And I started kind of researching a little bit of this, and I came across this great quote from Douglas Adams, and it's, anything that's invented when you're born or it's around, it's just natural. It's not new or innovative. It's like, that's just the way things are. Our kids were always going to know smartphones. Kids that age, it's just natural. It's part of the natural way of things. If you're between the ages of 15 and 35 and it's invented, it's probably new and exciting and you can get a job in it, right? It's a career, it's STEM, robotics, the App Store. Let's all build apps and make a lot of money. And then this next one, which actually speaks to my generation, anything after the age of 35 is against the natural order of things. It should go away. I've started to become that parent. At first, like, no, I'm the cool, hip, and trendy parent, right? I get everything the kids are doing. And then I come across this. Go ahead. You can do it. I know you can. Stand up. And I started thinking, what are some things that kids today probably don't know? So I went around and spoke to all the 4th and 5th graders in my school district just recently, And I showed them some images of some things. Just to see, like, what were some things. So, first of all, any guesses? What one do you think they knew the most? VCR tape, correct. Which one do you think they knew the least? Here are the percentages. The pager they could not get their head around. They're like, is that one of those digital step tracker things? Like, is that an alarm clock? I was like, well, no, it's this $300 device, and someone called it. Then you had to go to a payphone, and they're like, wait, what's a payphone? I'm like, oh. And then the floppy disk was really funny. One kid stood up and said, is that a 3D printed Microsoft Word save icon? No, but that's a brilliant answer is what I wanted to tell them. It's crazy to see how much has changed. And I think about communication and how that's affecting our kids today too. A lot of this has shifted too over the years. You think about when we first started, I always like to harken back to a